immediately latched onto it. Tell me right away when they have the tests are done. This is great. This is fantastic. So that's been excellent for us. So we've been nothing but great there. The fact that Druid VoiceRoot has been interested in, with their SOAP API, so that we can extend it, I think is the biggest thing that people want to hear about, because Sugar CRM is really interesting, but it's going to go beyond that as far as what people want to integrate it with. Everybody wants to have a system that we can tie into the custom things that they have already in their, for their business, whatever their critical solutions they've already invested in. They would like to have as much flow of information as possible. They don't like to go to 5 different places. They like it to be as integrated as possible, so that there's one, and I'll tell you, the enabler that we really get out of it is that there's a lot of our customers that say they don't have time to use, they want something like a CRM system, but they don't have a minute to spare. If they have to put everything into it, that's not going to work. So when we can tell them that basically with the integration that Druid UCS has with its iDesk, where as the phone comes in, it's going to just do it all for you. It's going to log this right into the CRM system that this call is taking place and how long it went, and give them a pop-up. So all they have to really say is write a few notes down. That changes it to something where they're not going to use it to where, okay, then that's a no-brainer. That's great then. Then I can get them into a CRM and into a new PBX system at the same time, which is what I'm interested in doing, and then that usually can cascade into other things. So it's been, that was the key to me, is I want to be able to handle as many of those different things as possible so we can tie them in. And it's just been, this has been the enabler that I was looking for actually 10 years ago, trying to do it the other way with digital asset management. This has become the new way for me to centralize everything and build off of something that people just get, they're not happy with, they're ecstatic about. They really just love this stuff, the way that it works. Some of the things that everybody loves, obviously the queues, the basic things. I said the fax, like I said, is probably the most exciting. And it's obviously fax over IP is problematic. We've found it best if we work with a company called Paytech and their T1s. The way that they do it somehow, I get tons of faxes across that going to and from. It's just working flawlessly. We've got a client that's got 25 phones, and they've got their entire CSR department and their sales department each have 2 DIDs, one for direct voice and one for direct fax. And they just, I check on their mailboxes, and it's 40 or 50 faxes, maybe one voicemail, and it's just, and they're probably sending out just as much, faxes out. It's like, and they just use it to death. The mobile bridging people just, they use that more than their phones half the time. Really, because people are on the move. That just has really been a godsend for them. We use a lot of, almost every client we've done, they've wanted to get one of the Astra SIP deck phones. And that's been probably a way that we're able to beat Cisco and anybody else, because I don't know if they even have, they might have some, but nobody, anytime I'm competing with them, they never offer it. So we're able to, offer some, sexy Polycom conference phones and the Cisco, and between those, the sale's usually done. It's because nobody else is talking about those kind of things. And I just can't believe how clear these phones can. The one customer that they've got 3 of them, and they've got a 20,000 foot warehouse. The whole back of the warehouse, actually, I think that's my. Let me see. Getting my case study. I skipped ahead there. They got a 20,000 foot warehouse, and they can use this phone anywhere, and it's crystal clear, and it's just fantastic for them, because it's for the managers, the plant manager. He uses it, he lives by this thing. If he had one battery trouble one day, he says, "Dave, you got to help me with this battery right away." I had to get the Astra to send a battery as fast as possible, because his work. This was like after just a few weeks of using it, he was totally dependent on it. We also set up some, in that case, they have a really loud warehouse, and we set up some IP loudspeakers from CyberData that people can page and get. It works fantastic. Just really exciting stuff that we were able to do and innovate that the way beyond what the client was asking for. I think I skipped Actually, I went over that one already. I wanted to talk about what we've been having lately with teleworking has been really exciting. There's in Atlanta, actually I should say Georgia, they're having something called the Clean Air Campaign. Basically, Atlanta and several other regions of the state are not meeting federal standards for air quality, and they get obviously penalized financially for that. So to try to work around that, they're promoting teleworking more, and they're basically each year they put $2 million in funding for people to implement more teleworkers. They basically get $20,000 to build the infrastructure to be able to handle this at their main office, and then they get $1,200 for each employee that they turn into a teleworker that will be working 12 days out of the month from home, and then they have to. There's forms that they have to keep track of to show that this is happening, and I just haven't had enough time to. I mean, everybody's been asking me about this, even before. When a new person, I go to a presentation, I always bring the information on it, but they already know about it, and then they're excited that I know about it and that they had this in their mind already. So I think this is incredibly exciting. People want to adopt this. They love the fact, we recently, one of the first ones we did like this was a graphic arts agency in Alpharetta, which is north of Atlanta, and they wanted to go to a virtual office environment, and they were already planned, but they were just so excited that they could get this tax break. They didn't know about it, but and they're just tickled to death. We did that just a few weeks ago, and basically the PBX is at their main office, and then they've got people all over Atlanta, like down south of Atlanta, off in Woodstock. The last one is actually somewhere near Norcross. So and they just love it because they've got all their queues coming in, everybody's phones ringing, they're paging each other, they're intercomming, and it's just they had no idea they'd be able to get that level of functionality when they went. They were just afraid that this was going to be very difficult once they decided to give up their lease space. But they're saving a ton of money by not having to go to and time. And just getting to the office is basically getting out of bed now. So it's really exciting. And again, these are more customers that use Sugar CRM. So they're adopting and they're using we're using VPN technology basically to use IPsec VPN routers at each location so to secure the traffic. Just because I was kind of worried about SIP open on the internet these days. I think people are going to target that more and more in the future as a security breach. So we try to keep everything on VPN tunnels and with quality of service to make sure that it sounds, and it's just working fantastic. They love it. So I think I went over my second case study there. One of the things that we're interested in doing in the future that we think are exciting, again, taking this a little further, I think Astra has, and other companies as well, but I think they've got the best enterprise version of this. They've got a second product that is their enterprise level SIP deck, basically where you've...
What really helps you a lot is your audience, right? They're excited by technology, and they don't want a boring old phone system. I guess they understand your value proposition.
Exactly.
You're lucky that way.
Yeah, well, yeah, because they're Mac people, they're interested in using all this new technology, and they want to communicate. I mean, they're all about communication. That's all they basically do. So anything that enables them better ways to communicate is what is exciting to them.
I guess an iPhone app might.
iPhone app would be fantastic. The BlackBerry app is interesting to some of the executives, but the iPhone app it would be just that's what everybody would.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Basically, I was saying I think the what Astra can do, and Druid and especially with the Astra SIP deck solutions is something I don't even know if anybody else has something. Definitely not in the price point that we can do there. We've had several people interested in this, basically where you can wander everywhere, giant campuses, and we can have the cell phone just pass up. Even more exciting though is that you can have multi-site. So you can have these wireless the SIP deck transmitters can be a different, and then basically you can take your phone to the other location and it'll automatically register and then be available with your extension. I just think that's something that is just totally incredible. The last thing that